Apologize for the inconvenience. Mountaineers in the home whites. They've got the black letters, the black numbers. NC Central in the maroon with the silver streak down the side. The Eagles making the trip from Durham, North Carolina. Here we go. Huntley to jump it up against Medley Bacon, and NC Central controls the opening tip here inside of the Holmes Convocation Center. Eagles coming off a 12-point loss at Virginia. They dump it inside. Bacon lost the handle. It's picked up by Gregory, and here come the Mountaineers. 142 points on Monday night. Rejected. Gregory trying to streak in. Here's the kick out. Got to pay attention to Justin Wright for the Eagles. Number 5 in maroon. Off-balance shot, whistle, and a foul underneath. And it's going to go against Brendan Medley Bacon. First of the night. And it goes against their big man.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's the only big guy they really have. Only one on the roster over 6'8" that actually gets out onto the floor. So got to be careful. He's an aggressive defensive player, likes to block a lot of shots.
NC Central, a team that plays man-to-man 88% of the time. Boykin from distance.
And this kid just taking off from what he did Monday night. 14 points, 4 for 6 from 3. And I'm going to tell you what, I like that kid. He's never met a shot he didn't like.
Division II transfer from Union. He was the Gulf South Conference Player of the Year a season ago. Wright, all alone from deep. Tapped around. Huntley saves it. Harcum looking to push. Terrence Harcum had a nice game Monday night. Just a sophomore. Boykin again from deep.
Dustin Kern's telling me that they want to play a little faster this year, and we're seeing it right now, trying to get up and down, much like they did Monday night.
Trailer 3. That one missed everything. Empty was Maltsby. And Boykin will bring it up the floor for the Mountaineers. This is a team, Dustin Kearns, he's got multiple ball handlers. Gregory, their glue guy from a year ago, trying to post up, couldn't get the turnaround.
And I like that move, Gregory going right at Justin Wright at 6'2". Gregory, a tremendous height and strength advantage on him.
Huntley, he's got range. In and out, and the rebound pulled in by Boone. Eric Boone, athletic wing. He's a quick guard, and that's the second on Medley Bacon. Lowered his shoulder. He's got 2, and Lavelle Moten going to have to go to his bench at the 17:47 mark.
Excellent weak side help from Terrence Harcum. Mountaineers play the pack line defense. One guy pressuring that daylight's out of the ball. Everybody else is in help position. And I'm going to tell you, Medley Bacon should have known better because they played Virginia Monday night also, and Virginia plays the same defense that the Mountaineers do. So he should have been aware of that help.
And a foul away from the basketball. It's going against C.J. Huntley. Moving screen, the first on the Mountaineers of the night. Wright attacking. Had it knocked out of his hands from behind by Boykin. And it'll stay on this end with the Eagles.
And Kendall, what you just saw right there, the Eagles love to weave up front, and they'll continue to do that until somebody can turn the corner and get a straight line drive to the basket, much like Justin Wright did right there.
Eric Boone will trigger it in for NC Central. And we mentioned it coming off a 73-61 loss Monday in Charlottesville at Virginia. They've already seen a pack line defensive team, John. How do you think that will help the Eagles maybe tonight, having a game under their belt against that defense?
That's going to help them tremendously because there aren't a whole lot of teams that play it. Virginia is the one that actually made it popular, and Dustin Kern's group does as good a job as anybody in the nation playing it. But it is an advantage seeing it 2 games in a row.
Oladapo, the offensive board. Deep 3, you bet. Eric Boone knocks it down and knots it up at 3.
And he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, Kendall, but he shoots at a high percentage.
Donovan Gregory, this is a guy, all Sun Belt performer from a year ago. The Swiss Army knife on this team this year. Harcum looking for the and one, couldn't get it to drop, but he'll have a couple of free throws coming. And a sophomore from South Granville High School will head to the charity stripe for Appalachian State. This is a Mountaineers team that had a magical run 2 years ago in the Sun Belt tournament. The NCAA tournament were eliminated last year in the Sun Belt tournament semifinals to the eventual champion Georgia State. A couple of substitutions for Dustin Kearns. Dibaji Walker checks in. Justin absent as well for the first time tonight for the Mountaineers as Harcum hits them both. Just over 16 and a half to go, first half. Kendall Lewis, John Reister here with you. 5-3, Mountaineers by 2. In and out, this one tapped around as Gregory tracks down the loose board. And Boykin, as we mentioned, Gulf South Conference Player of the Year, Division II school Union, transferred in to Appalachian State, 5th year. And active hands on D as Boone deflects it away.
And this is going to take a little adjustment time for the Mountaineers to figure out this defense. North Carolina Central, very, very active in the passing lanes. They're going to deny the first pass all over the floor. Very little help side. That's why the Mountaineers need to attack more with the dribble more than the pass tonight. Got to keep the ball moving. That's a huge key tonight, is attacking the lane.
Loose ball momentarily as Gregory went up and got it. 6 on the shot clock. Fader can't get it to drop, but the offensive board snatched in by Absent. Harcum elevates and finishes off glass.
Terrence Harcum also had a good night Monday. Missed a couple threes, decided to take it to the basket, and he's doing it again tonight.
Off the screen, this one rejected. Boone couldn't get it the second chance, and the Eagles come away empty. The lob, and tipped away right. Good transition D to deflect it out of bounds. We've reached our first media. 15:22 to go in the first half. We come back to you inside of the Holmes Convocation Center, 7-3. Appalachian State leading NC Central. There's the head coach for the Mountaineers, Dustin Kearns. What a great job he's done with this program. We told you about the magical run 2 years ago in the Sun Belt tournament. Appalachian State, 142 points on Monday night. Coach Kearns, he's a 2002 Clemson grad. He's been around some really good programs, including Clemson and Wofford with Mike Young for quite some time. Shot fake, 9 on the shot clock. T-set, gives it up. Boykin in the paint, kicks it to Harcum, NBA range. And the offensive board snatched in by Absent.
That's 2 for him already. Tremendous rebounder, averaged over 12 a game last year in high school.
Automatic is T-set from 3.
Best time to get an open 3 is off an offensive rebound, and Absence had some good coaching. First thing he did was turns back to the basket and find that shooter.
Brendan Medley-Bacon is on the bench with 2 fouls. He picked up his second at the 17:47 mark. And an offensive foul on the Eagles. That's their 4th. Moving screen on Chris Monroe, his first. We told you, team foul number 4 against the Eagles.
Yeah,
at the 14:32 mark.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kendall, both these teams' defenses are dictating the tone of this game, and they're both being very, very aggressive. It's turned into a half-court game, and it's not going to surprise me if both teams struggle to score.
T-set, same spot. Couldn't get it to go. He'll try it again from deep. This one deflected up in the air, and Wright goes up and gets it.
Boy, DeBaji Walker in there just battling against three of the Eagles from North Carolina Central.
Fred Cleveland Jr. is in the game for the first time. Junior college transfer. Handles the rock right now for the Eagles. Shot clock at single digits at 9. NC Central just stagnant on offense. They dump it inside. Monroe as the shot clock expires. And the Mountaineers all fired up as they force a shot clock violation.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, yeah, they scored 142 points the other night, but a lot of it came out of their defense. A lot of live ball turnovers, pressure that Warren Wilson obviously couldn't handle being a Division III school. But I'm telling you what, they're taking it right at the Eagles of North Carolina Central right now. And you know, that's the first punch in the face right there, and the Mountaineers just won that one.
Xavion Brown is in for the first time for the Mountaineers. He is absolutely electric. Harcum, the Euro, couldn't finish it. And the outlet, here come the Eagles. They're selective in transition, but this is a team that loves that trail three. Rising and hitting. Count it, Devin Butts. Pulls the Eagles within 4. That was a much-needed bucket for NC Central. Went a couple of minutes without a made basket. Slithering in the paint, the kick out, a 3. And this one bounces up and over the back. Walker had an open look from the corner.
And you won't see him miss that very often, Kendall. In warm-ups, that was his spot, that corner from either side. And, you know, he's going to keep shooting that, and he's going to make a lot more of those, and he's going to miss.
Under 13 minutes to go first half. Holmes Convocation Center. Kendall Lewis, John Reister here with you on ESPN+. Glad you're tuned in from wherever you may be. Justin Wright's got nothing clean this entire game. Cleveland up and under. How about the acrobatic finish for the junior college transfer?
Boy, that's a little guy taking it into the trees. Nice finish.
This Appalachian State team, John, you almost feel like, of course, Boykin on the bench right now, but with Gregory and Boykin, you almost have 2 point guards at all times on this team.
Yeah, they really have a good feel for the game, and, you know, Coach Kearns wants to play Gregory at the point, you know, a lot this year, but I'm going to tell you, they've got 4 or 5 guys that do a pretty good job of making decisions out on the floor, and that's going to really open things up offensively this year. Last year, at times, they became predictable. This year, I think they've got a lot more flexibility, and it's because, like you said, they've got a lot of guys with a point guard mentality that can kind of direct the offense a little bit better when things break down.
Xavion Brown at the free throw line battled injury for the majority of last year. He didn't play the second half, virtually the second half of the season last year, John, but this kid can get up. Monday night's game had some electric dunks. He is one that can certainly change the tone of a game.
Well, and he's a guy that obviously can get the crowd going too, and you know, student section's starting to fill up a little bit. You know, rainy night outside tonight, so maybe a late arriving crowd is to be expected. But their eyes will be on Xavion Brown after his 5 dunks he had the other night against Warren Wilson.
Well, and speaking of the free throw line, App State 39 of 43 at the charity stripe in Monday's win against Warren Wilson. Wright steps back. Cleveland, 7 on the shot clock, spins, up and under. Couldn't finish it. And a rebound pulled in by Tamel Pearson.
Nice box out by Pearson, getting the big fella for the Eagles on his back.
Pearson faces up. He'll pull it. Can't get the mid-range J. Here's Wright in transition. All MEAC preseason selection. Kicks it out. And stepping on the sideline and turning it back over to the Mountaineers. That'll bring us to another timeout. Cleveland stepped on the sideline with 11:16 to go. It's 11-8. '14th year at NC Central. You see it right there. How about 4 NCAA tournament appearances for Coach Moten? He's been around the game of basketball, and what he's done for this Eagle program has been absolutely sensational. You see, he played at NC Central from '92 to '96. He is an outstanding teacher of the game as Pearson goes to work and gets the tip. Wait a minute. Whistles come in.
Yeah,
it's a basket interference on Donovan Gregory. Wave off the basket, and it'll go to NC Central.
But that's a good aggressive play. You can't take that away from Donovan Gregory. He's up there. Thought the ball was going to come out. Nice move by Tavell Pearson to get that ball up on the rim. He's got an old man game, Kendall. He doesn't elevate as high as a lot of post players do, but boy, he's got a lot of moves and a lot of spins to get the ball up on the glass.
Gregory charged the culprit on the foul. That's team foul number 3 on Appalachian State, his first. And Devin Gordon will trigger it in. Just checking in out of the timeout for NC Central, first time tonight. Lavelle Moten went to the portal hard in the offseason. Gordon is one of those guys transferring in from Mississippi Valley State. Wright looking for space. Picks up his dribble. Shot clock ticking down. It's at 4. The heave from deep. You betcha. Second made 3 for Butts. Wow. From his hip, John.
Well, with the 6'7", Chris Mantis flying out at him, too. So nice closeout by Mantis. But I'm going to tell you what, Butts can really stroke it. He very rarely shoots anything except three-point shots. He had a kind of an off night against Virginia the other night. But I'm going to tell you, once he gets going, the Mountaineers need to find him quick because he's not going to miss very often when he gets hot.
And just like that, we're tied up at 11. 16 fouls on NC Central. The storyline of the first half was Brennan Medley-Bacon picking up his second at the 17:47 mark. He's been on the bench for pretty much the entire game. You know, you come in, you play less than 2.5 minutes. They dump it inside. Good ball movement. Huntley trying to throw it down, was fouled. Hacked on the arm. And he'll head to the free throw line.
Nice idea by the Mountaineers to post up Xavion Brown on Fred Cleveland. A distinct height advantage and definitely an athleticism advantage there. Nice help on the weak side for Central, and that's what freed up the run to the rim for C.J. Huntley.
C.J. Huntley, breakout sophomore year. I think he's only going to keep getting better and better. And you've seen it. He can shoot the three. Guy that's got close to 6'11" size, but incredible three-point shooter. He's got a sister who plays on the volleyball team here at Appalachian State. He makes them both 13-11, App State by 2. Mountaineers 5 of 6 from the charity stripe so far. Pull up Jay Gregory, that's his second.
Boy, nice heady move by Jadarius Harris to get Donovan Gregory in the air. From our angle, it didn't look like there was any contact, but the official was kind of down in the corner area, so he was looking through the shooter, and I'm sure it did look like there was contact on the play.
Jadarius Harris, another junior college transfer from East Florida State College, bricks the first. We've got a good crowd on hand tonight, student section here at Holmes Convocation Center. Harris, the redshirt junior, goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. It's a 1-point game. Tyree Boykin
Eagles
back
playing
in the game for Kearns.
Eagles playing a 2-3 zone, Kendall, and they'll match up out of this. And sometimes they'll trap the short corner or the corner if the Mountaineers get careless.
Xavion Brown, he's explosive. Slices in, changes hands. It's tapped around. And here come the Eagles. They've got numbers. Cleveland surveys, and he draws the foul.
Boy, Cleveland's really giving them a spark off the bench, Kendall. He didn't play much against Virginia Monday night. But I tell you what, he's being aggressive. He's attacking that pack line defense, and he's finding some seams to get into the paint, which doesn't happen much against the Mountaineers. They usually close those gaps down pretty quick.
This North Carolina Central team picked to finish second in the MEAC preseason poll this year. Last year finished third. They went 8-5 in MEAC play, won 16 games. We mentioned it. In the 14 seasons, Lavelle Moton's been the head coach. 4 NCAA tournament appearances for this program. And Cleveland gets them both to go. And NC Central has their first lead of the game here at the 9:17 mark of the first half.
And they've done it without Justin Wright, a 20 points a game scorer, getting in the scoring column.
Mantis beyond NBA range.
That one might have been a little quick. Got to keep the ball moving a little bit longer, get a little bit better shot than that.
Gordon thought about the three and instead passed it up as Cleveland will reset the offense for NC Central. Extra pass, Butts. He's hit 2 of those. Make it 3 from downtown.
And that's a mental mistake by the Mountaineers. He is the only one, I take that back. Harris has made a 3 also. No, I'm sorry. He's the only one that's made a 3 for the Eagles, and nobody was within 20 feet of him, Kendall.
His 3rd triple of the night, and a reach-in foul call on the Eagles.
I like how Dustin Kearns has put Xavion Brown in the middle of the zone, much like he did with Donovan Gregory last year. Xavion, very athletic, can get above the defenders and make good decisions. And he's surrounded by shooters right now, so good things should happen if he makes good decisions in the middle of the floor.
Xavion Brown, we talk about how explosive this guy is and battling injuries last year. And John, I don't think that Xavion has even scratched the surface of his potential. And if you ask the coaching staff, they don't think so either. He's only going to get better. You look at the vertical on this kid as he misses the 1-and-1. NC Central a chance to build on this 4-point lead. Cleveland surveys. Picks up his dribble.
Good closeout by Tyree Boykin to take away that 3.
Gordon drives in, muscles it up and over C.J. Huntley.
Nice little bump to get C.J. Huntley off of him. There's one thing about C.J., he's got to put some weight on to hold his ground against these stronger players.
App State on closing in on a 2.5-minute scoring drought. Mantis, extra kick, Huntley. You bet.
Big shot by C.J. Huntley. Mountaineers needed that one. They hadn't scored in, what'd you say, 2 or 3 minutes, Kendall?
Over 2 minutes. That stops the scoring drought for the Mountaineers.
Now they got to get a stop.
Remember, NC Central losing their opener, but they've seen a pack line defense before. We talked about how that might play into tonight's game.
They're really spreading the floor, Kendall. I like that because they don't have a lot of size out there, just quickness.
Cleveland turns it over. Mantis had 22 in the opener Monday night for the Mountaineers. Going to work. Absent. Nice move in the low post.
Kid's got a lot of potential. Big, strong kid, 6'9", 235. I'm glad he went up with that. He looked to pass first and made the right decision to go straight to the 10.
Back-to-back buckets for the Mountaineers. Little mini 5-0 run. Closing in on 6.5 to go, first half. Gordon from deep. Oh, he got it. NC Central, the three ball is falling tonight in Boone.
Yeah, and the Mountaineers have got to be aware of these shooters. They've got 4 guys out there right now for Central that can shoot the basketball. They're watching the ball too much off of the ball, Kim. They need to find their man.
Boykin wanted it from deep, couldn't get it to go. Mantis, active hands, he saves it back in. Skip pass, deflected out. And that'll take us to another timeout. 5:57, we've got a good one tonight, folks. From Boone, it's a 22. Take a look at the series history for these two teams. Just the 3rd meeting all time. Tied 1-1. You see it's been right at 4 years. App State winning by 9 back in the 18-19 season. That was before Dustin Kearns and his staff got to Boone. We've got a good game going right now. Appalachian State and NC Central.
Central in that 2-3 zone again, Kendall. The Mountaineers need to get somebody at the free throw line.
Huntley, corner pocket 3.
Boy, Lavelle Moten is beside himself. He's like, that guy can shoot. Get out there.
Justin Wright, scoreless. Chris Monroe, scoreless. And then we told you, Brendan Medley-Bacon has been on the bench almost the entire game, picking up 2 fouls in less than 2.5 minutes. Look at NC Central. Lavelle Moten's got to be pleased, John, with the way his unit has battled. His team has battled to this point, up 1 with 3 of their best players scoreless.
Well, those bench players have stepped up. And they've really stepped up because your 3 all-conference players, preseason all-conference players, hadn't even scratched yet. So he's got to be tickled to death.
Right, looking for his first bucket. Slices up the D. His first bucket of the night comes at the 5:07 mark of the first half. Absent, mid-range. Here comes Wright in transition. Chris Monroe, number 2 in maroon, he's scoreless as well as a preseason All-MEAC selection. Right, fading away. It's amazing, John. Scoring is certainly contagious. And back-to-back buckets for the first team All-MEAC selection from a year ago.
And he loves that mid-range game. He shoots a lot of pull-ups. Very rarely does he take it to the rim like he did a minute ago, but he loves the mid-range, and when he gives the ball up like he did that last possession, he's running off 4 or 5 different screens to get the ball back.
Monroe couldn't get it to drop, and Abson hauls in the rebound. Harcum back in, kicks it out. Boykin, shot fake. Harcum, extra pass. Huntley, good ball movement for the Mountaineers. They find Boykin. Picturesque ball movement for Appalachian State.
And Kendall, that's what we saw Monday, was the ball moving, never hitting the floor. And that's what they're going to have to do against these really quick, long, and athletic North Carolina Central Eagles.
On top of Appalachian State. Kendall Lewis, John Reister here with you on ESPN Plus tonight. left to play. Well, John, what were your keys to the game tonight for both teams, and how have they shaped out so far?
Well, the keys for Appalachian State was keep the ball moving like they did the other night. They had 30 assists Monday night. They've got 6 already tonight on their 7 made buckets. When they've gotten in trouble is when the ball stops. So they've got to keep moving the ball. You know, North Carolina Central is back to attacking the paint. They don't need to settle for threes. Now, they've made some threes, but it's come off penetration.
Monroe looking for space. Here comes the double team. Kick out, pull up Jay, Cash Money. Eric Boone drains the J.
Mountaineers did not rotate over and take away the passing lanes when they doubled down on the short corner. Great place to trap, but if you're standing and watching instead of rotating over, you're going to get burnt, and that's what happened.
Boykin, shot clock at single digits. Fall away 3. Oh, he got it! Ice cold, Tyree Boykin.
Here's a guy that scored 48 points in a game last year, so when the shot clock runs down, he knows what to do with the basketball.
Entry feed knocked away, but a reach in from behind. Foul going to go against Abaji Walker. That's his first, team foul number 7. And North Carolina Central now in the bonus the rest of the way. Both teams in the bonus, 2:35 left to play in the first half.
And I'm going to tell you, another one of my keys for Central is to make their free throws. Shot less than 60% against Virginia, and they did not get to the line very often. So they're going to have to change that script a little bit tonight. They've gotten to the line plenty early tonight. Now they just have to knock them down. Chris
Monroe, a guy that in Central's final 8 games averaged 14.5 points, 7 rebounds, and just over 2 3-point makes per game in their final 8 last year. He got hot at the end of the season for the Eagles. Tonight he's been quiet offensively, but picks the pocket of Walker. Right, the Euro, and 1.
Boy, is he quick. Wow, he went around Abaji Walker like he wasn't even there.
What a move by Wright, who had a slow start, didn't get his first made basket till the 5:07 mark of the first half. He's got 6 points, looking to make it 7. All in about a 3-minute span for NC Central. Just a burst of explosion for the preseason All-MEAC selection. And he completes the 3-point play. 6-point NC Central lead. This is their largest of the game. We told you NC Central, a team that plays man-to-man 88% of the time. Active hands, they take it away again.
And there's Eric Boone, 4th in the nation last year. And yes, that's right, I said nation last year in steals.
And Wright stepped on the sideline and turns it right back over. Oh, NC Central, they've been red hot. They've made 8 of their last 9 shots from the field. And John mentioned it just a few minutes ago that they've got contributions from some guys off the bench that nobody expected, with their top 3 players scoreless till the 5-minute mark. Harcum thought he was fouled, no whistle. 5-on-4 for NC Central. Open 3. And this went off the heel of the rim. Boone had a wide open look. Boykin. And NC Central wants to slow it up. This is a team offensively. They are set-oriented, as you've seen in the first half. They will work it deep in the shot clock on almost every offensive possession.
And they want the ball to land in Justin Wright's hand with that shot clock running down.
Catch and shoot 3. It's short. Maltsby couldn't get it to go. And the crowd chanting air ball after it missed everything.
And this is a big possession here for the Mountaineers. Could be the last possession they have this half. They need to get a good shot. Need to attack the glass.
Brown changing hands, could get it to go, but he's got a couple of free throws coming. Sweet move to get to the basket by Xavion Brown.
Brown 1 for 3 tonight. Was 6 for 6 from the line. I'm sorry, he was 1 for 1 from the line Monday night.
We mentioned it's been almost 4 years since these two teams met. It was a 9-point game back in December of 2018. The last meeting, just the third all-time between these two. Xavion Brown at the charity stripe rattles in the first. Goes 1 of 2. Brown's got 3 points. They've all come at the charity stripe tonight. Game clock at 28, shot clock at 23. Boone surveys, attacks, had it rejected by Huntley. It will stay on this end.
Got 3 seconds to get a shot up here. And then the Mountaineers going to have about 5.7 to get it to the other end and get a shot.
Only 3 on the shot clock. Catch and hoist from Butts. Off the side of the backboard. Shot clock violation, and now 5 seconds for Dustin Kearns' crew to strike before the closure of the first half.
And I would expect Lavelle Moten to bring a little bit of pressure here to take some time off of that clock, bringing the ball up the floor. It looks like that's what they're going to do, maybe a 2-2-1 or a 2-1-2 to slow the Mountaineers down a little bit.
App State only shooting 29% from the field in the first half. They have made 6 threes. Deep heave right into the hands of Boone. Sidesteps the defender, tapped out, and this one going to come to a close. The first half was a good one. 33-28. Little bit of
Mountaineers kind of got shocked a little bit by the quickness and speed and defensive intensity of Central after having played Warren Wilson earlier, but that should be out of the way now, and I expect to see a much more aggressive, not backpedaling, so to speak, Mountaineers team in this second half.
Getting ready to start the second half. NC Central, as we mentioned it, shot 42% from the field in the first half. 5 made threes, 3 of those from Devin Butts off the bench. He had 9 of the 19 bench points for the Eagles in the first half. Mountaineers come back out with their starting 5 tonight, as does NC Central. We did not see Brennan Medley-Bacon from the 17:47 mark of the first half on. He got benched with 2 fouls early. Backing his way in was Tamel Pearson, and couldn't get it to drop over the front edge of the rim, but tapped out of bounds. It'll stay on this end.
Well, I like the idea of going back inside. Didn't get much inside in the first half, and they've got to reestablish a little physicality inside.
Active hands on D. This one swiped out of the hands of Boykin. NC Central, we mentioned, team that will play man-to-man majority of the time. They do have a 2-3 zone they'll throw to every now and again. We saw some full court pressure at a couple of different spots in the first half from Moten and his crew. Bucket and the foul for Gregory.
And this is what the Mountaineers did to start the game when they got off to a quick start. They were posting Donovan Gregory, spreading the floor, finding the mismatch, and going to work. So, you know, they kind of got off track and away from that once, you know, things got a little more hectic on the defensive end and they got some turnovers and started getting up and down. But I like the fact that the first two touches were inside and they got two out of it.
Nice spin move. Fader. Oh, you bet. Smooth as silk. Mr. Chris Monroe, his first made bucket of the night. This is a guy that went 0 for 7 against Virginia Monday night. How about his first made bucket of the season, John?
Yeah, but he's too good a shooter to be quiet for long. We talked at the break how, you know, guys like him aren't going to struggle for long, and Mountaineers need to keep an eye on him, but he may go for 3 or 4 or 5 shots in a row after it gets a slow start to the season.
Offensive foul called on Donovan Gregory.
Here they're going into their weave. They're going to wait till one of these guards can get downhill.
The lob. Medley Bacon trying to go to work, draws the foul on Pearson.
Well, I thought he got away with a walk, Kendall. He did a jump stop, and then he jump stopped again. You can't do that without picking up your pivot foot.
Well, that's the second on Tamel Pearson. Donovan Gregory just picked up his third on the other end. Remember, this is a deep Appalachian State team that Coach Kearns feels like could go 10, 11 guys deep this year.
Donovan Gregory's not the guy you want to lose. He's the only guy out there right now with any type of big game experience with the exception of C.J. Huntley. They can't afford to lose him.
7-point NC Central lead. That's their largest of the game. Led by 6 at the 33-27 mark. Late in the first half. Gregory surveys the floor. Got to be careful playing with 3 fouls. Backing his way in. He'll kick it out. Harcum got a seam. Floater. Misses wide. Wright thought about the 3. Trying to feed it inside of Medley Bacon. He's got position. Going to work. Tough shot. Gets it to go.
Wow. You talk about a tough shot is right. Good job by Tamel Pearson to stay vertical on that, and somehow Medley Bacon got it to go.
Nice move by Donovan Gregory as he gets to the rack.
He's got to be careful not to pick up a charge attacking the rim like that.
Much needed bucket for Appalachian State. That stops a 6-0 run from NC Central over the previous minute 30. Medley Bacon muscles his way up, couldn't get it to go, and tapped out of bounds off of the Mountaineers. It will stay with the Eagles.
Nice little on big screen down on the block on the ball reversal by Central. 6-foot guard screening on the big man created the mismatch underneath for Medley Bacon.
See Coach Kearns talking with Tamel Pearson. It's not often, John, that you see a 7-footer. There's not too many 7-footers in the MEAC conference. And Brennan Medley Bacon is not just a 7-footer. He's a skilled 7-footer.
He's skilled and he's athletic, and averaged over 2 blocks a game last year at Coppin State before he transferred into North Carolina Central. So he's going to be a difference maker in the MEAC.
He was hampered with 2 fouls in the first half. He only played just a little over 2 minutes, and the officials were over at the table taking a look. We stopped play at the 17-16 mark of the second half. And 7-point lead for NC Central. Their largest has been 9 at 39-30 just a moment ago. What a great night for college basketball. We're so glad that basketball season is back. Appalachian State out of the Sun Belt, NC Central out of the MEAC, and it's been a good one all night long.
Coach Kern's bringing the bigger Justin Absent in to try to deal with Medley Bacon down on that block.
Right, attacking. Had it blocked from behind, swatted away as Absent sends it into the third row of seats. NC Central with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Medley Bacon gets it back to Wright. The Euro lost the handle, out of bounds. It's App State basketball.
Boy, Justin Wright is just lightning quick, Kendall. He's going by the Mountaineers defenders like they got their feet in concrete. I haven't seen anybody blow by the Mountaineer guards like that in a long time. He's quick.
195 pounds is Justin Wright. Nice move from Gregory. Pull up, Jay.
And I like the idea of Donovan Gregory creating for himself, especially in the middle of the floor. He's got a smaller defender on him. All he's got to do is rise up and knock that 15-footer down.
Coach Kearns made the decision to leave Gregory on the floor with 3 fouls, but he's got back-to-back buckets for the Mountaineers. Kick out. Open look from 3. Maltsby couldn't get it to go. Tapped around. Here come the Mountaineers. Boykin. Instead, he'll pull it back out. Didn't have the numbers. Approaching our first meaty of the second half. Harcum nearly had it taken away. Huntley. And crowd ready to explode if that one would have dropped. Wright surveys, as John mentioned, been getting into the paint all night long. And this time, the step back, Jay.
And he pretty much took over the offensive scoring burden for Central in the second half against Virginia. I think he went for 15 or 16 points in the second half alone.
Harcum knocks down the 3.
Dustin Kearns looks like he's getting ready to bring Xavion Brown to try to slow Justin Wright down a little bit.
Maltsby thought about it. He'll slice in, high off the window. And rebound pulled in by Absent. Justin Absent's been all over the boards for the Mountaineers tonight.
He's done a good job, big freshman.
Long rebound for NC Central. Tapped around, right back into the hands. Strong take. Medley Bacon, offensive board, second chance.
Yeah, getting beat on the dribble. Absent had to go over and help, and that just frees up Medley Bacon to just step right there, get the easy offensive rebound and stick back. Got to do a better job of staying in front of these North Carolina Central guards.
Gregory will pull up. He knocks it down.
Good patience by the Mountaineers in that possession.
Donovan Gregory, Swiss Army knife for this Appalachian State team. Playing with 3 fouls. He's got to be careful here. They dump it inside. Medley Bacon going to work on Absent. How about the move inside for the 7-footer?
Beautiful step through. Beautiful step through to the front of the rim.
App State just can't get over that hump. A 6-point game here at the 13.5-minute mark. Boykin had it knocked out of his hands, gets it back to Huntley. Long rebound, pushing the tempo, coast to coast. On the other end was Eric Boone.
Tyree Boykin jumps.
It's going to go against the Eagles and back the other way to Appalachian State. We'll take a break. 45-39. NC Central by 6.
Yosef, hey, weren't you shopping for the big cookout? Cool.
Here at the 13-16 mark. Kendall Lewis, John Reister here with you. Well, there is Justin Wright. We've called his name quite a bit tonight. What an impressive showing last year for Justin Wright. He's the youngest Eagle to be named a first-team All-MEAC selection in their Division I era last year. He's also only the 10th Eagle to be named a first-team All-MEAC selection since they joined Division I. Wright had over 20 points 7 times a year ago and did not have his first made basket till the 5:07 mark of the first half tonight, but Johnny's really broke out in the second half so far.
Yeah, he's put it together. He's gone back to what he's been successful at, which is the mid-range game. And, you know, the Mountaineers just haven't found anybody that can stay in front of him right now.
Eric Boone handles the rock for NC Central. Big possession right here for Lavelle Moten's crew. Buds had 3 makes from downtown in the first half. He'll step back on the long 2, missed everything.
Big defensive stance there by the Mountaineers. Now they take their time, get a good shot, get in the middle of this Eagles defense.
Big time 3 from Carvel T-Set.
But it came off of the penetration, deep penetration by Tyree Boykin.
Carvel T-Set, the transfer from Northwestern State. Talk about Coach Moten going to the portal. How about Dustin Kearns bringing in 4 transfers this year to Appalachian State. Deep 3, corner pocket, you bet. Devin Gordon, the sophomore, knocking it down.
Yeah, I think they ruled it a 2. Ken, I think he had his foot on the line. Official was right there to look at it. But it's got to start on the defensive end for the Mountaineers. They can't just keep trading buckets with the Eagles.
T-Set wanted to step back 3, and it was tapped out of bounds. Last touched by the Mountaineers. This will go back to NC Central. You're right. That last made basket for NC Central ruled a 2. And we'll take a break. 11:28, 47-42. We've got a good one shaping up here in the High Country. NC Central leads by 5 here inside the Holmes Convocation Center. John, App State, they've trailed by that 5-6 point mark for quite some time now. What can they do? What kind of spark? What would you like to see from the Mountaineers here to get over the hump?
Well, the first thing they got to do is get a stop, okay? They're just trading buckets with Central right now, and they can't do that and cut into this lead. But at this point in the game, you know, you're going back and forth, and you don't know who's going to be taking the shots. And it's at a point now where they got to figure out who that guy's going to be. Last 2 years, it's been Justin Forrest and Adrian Delph. But right now, they haven't figured out who that guy wants the ball and is going to keep him in this game, put him over the hump.
Devin Gordon, a deep three, his second made triple in the second half, extends the Central lead out to 8.
And boy, the pressure just keeps pushing the Mountaineers farther and farther from the basket.
Gregory trying to post up. He'll fall away on the J. Huntley, it's the bucket.
Eagles got a little lazy on the backside, didn't box out C.J. Huntley. He's usually hanging out in a corner, and he gets a running start for that offensive rebound and stick back.
And a chance to complete a three-point play for the junior from Huntersville, North Carolina.
So I'd love for the Mountaineers to maybe surprise the Eagles here with a little pressure, even if it's just token pressure, just to give them a little bit different look on the defensive end. Take them out of their rhythm a little bit.
Terrence Harcum checks back in. 4 guards on the floor now. Smaller lineup, if you will, for Dustin Kearns, with Huntley, T-Set, Gregory, Harcum, and Xavion Brown.
Boy, I'd like to see Xavion Brown switch over to Justin Wright. He's got the kind of length and athleticism to slow him down a little bit.
Wright crosses over, picks up his dribble. Gordon again from 3.
There's your stop. Now take care of the basketball. Get a good look.
Harcum, corner. And here comes Boone in transition for the Eagles. Wright surveys. Shot clock ticking down, approaching single digits. Butts looking for the baseline. Pulls up, tough angle, and a push off underneath the basket going against NC Central.
Well, that's 2 stops in a row for the Mountaineers. They haven't had that in a while. Get a little spring in their step. Now let's go down here and get a good shot.
Cameron Butler, the culprit on the foul. That's team foul number 4 on the Eagles. 5-point game and a chance for the Mountaineers, who have trailed by as many as 9 in this second half, to trim the deficit even more.
Tyree Boykin back in for the Mountaineers. I'd look for him to take the big shot. There it is.
Off the mark, tapped around, an offensive board. Donovan Gregory, Brown, attacking, rejected, no foul.
Wow.
Here comes Boone in transition, pulls up and gets it to go.
I don't see how that's not a foul on Xavion Brown. A lot of contact, and Medley Brown brought his arms down, which is cardinal rule for a foul. You can't do that.
Extra pass, Huntley, short on the 3. Boone slicing and dicing. Teardrop wouldn't go. Tapped around, look out, Xavion Brown in the open floor. Harcum, transition 3. And a foul on NC Central.
C.J. Huntley keeping him in this game with his offensive rebounding. Mountaineers have fallen in love with that 3-point shot again, which is okay. But you got to start making them. You can't keep shooting them if they're not going in.
Quick inbound, and Brown missed the bunny. Wow, on the doorstep for the Mountaineers. They dump it inside. Medley Bacon again, going to work on Huntley. Can't get it to go. Missed it on the doorstep. Gregory. Fader. And both teams a little bit wild right now. A couple misses from close range. Right transition, he gets it to go. And lead back up to 9. That matches the largest of the game for the Eagles. Harcum attacks and muscles it in. Just powered it up and through for the Mountaineers, and they cut it to 7. 54-47 at the 7:46 mark here inside the Holmes Convocation Center.
Relax.
.47 to score here inside of the Holmes Convocation Center. Kendall Lewis, John Reister on ESPN Plus with you. The Mountaineers had an opportunity just a few moments ago. A couple of misses from close range. The Mountaineers shooting just 32% from the field right now and only 29% from three. They've really struggled in a team that was red hot on Monday night.
Yeah, they couldn't miss a shot on Monday, and everything's a lot tougher. But you got to give credit to this North Carolina Central Eagles defense. They're just in your face, long, lanky, aggressive, and nothing is being shot without a hand in your face.
And a turnover thrown right into the hands of Butts. He'll pull it from deep. He had the hot hand in the first half, hit 3 threes.
There's a lot of holding and grabbing going on the defensive end, but you know the officials let them play all night, let them finish that way.
Boykin, step back Jay.
You know, if I was going to pick somebody, Kendall, to be that guy to get them back in, Tyree Boykin would be the one. I mean, he can score absolutely anytime he wants, and you know, maybe it's about time for him to try to take this thing over.
Boone surveys. Gordon off a curl. Couldn't get the three to drop. Rebound Harcum. He'll attack. Drops it off Gregory. Look what I found. Back-to-back buckets out of the timeout. Cuts it to 3. Back-to-back buckets to cut it to 3. NC Central trying to hang on for what would be their first victory of the year, coming off a loss on Monday night at Virginia in Charlottesville, 73-61. App State 142 points on Monday night. They won 142-74 against Warren Wilson. They've got a date on the road at Louisville coming up on the 15th. Catch and shoot 3. Rattles in and out for Monroe.
They missed Justin Wright on a backdoor cut, wide open. No Mountaineer anywhere near him underneath the basket.
Harcum lets it go. He equalizes it.
Now you got to dig in defensively. Big stop right here.
And it's getting loud inside of the Holmes Convocation Center. Wright trying to make a move, pulls up, off the mark.
But that's their MO. Wright tries to take over the game when things get tight.
Gregory to give the Mountaineers the lead. Boone attacking downhill, draws the foul.
Just can't let a guy like him. Scouting report says, hey, he's penetrating, he's getting downhill. Not a great shooter. He had a head of steam up at half court, and the Mountaineers have got to find a way to get in front of him and Justin Wright. They're just getting into the lane at will, and nothing good's going to happen for the Mountaineers if they can get in the paint.
Eric Boone can't get the first one to go. It rattles out.
And this was kind of an Achilles heel for them against Virginia, as they missed a lot of free throws once they cut it down to 1 with 15 left in the second half.
Goes 1 of 2 with the charity stripe. NC Central back out in front by 1. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Backdoor cut. Boykin misses the bunny. Boone in transition. Lobs it up. Alley-oop for Medley Bacon. And the 7-footer throws it down with an exclamation point.
Big 4-point swing. Miss a layup on one end, get a dunk on the other.
Gregory with 10 on the shot clock. Trying to post up Gordon. Oh, nice pass.
Oh, and he got fouled.
Dunked it and the foul.
What a pass by Donovan Gregory to the big freshman, Justin Abson, with the strong finish.
Coach Kern said it. Donovan Gregory, he can handle the point. Look at him dropping a dime to Abson there.
And if Abson doesn't dunk that ball, he gets it blocked.
And a chance to knot it up at 57. And Abson can't complete the three-point play.
Don't let these guards turn the corner.
Gordon had it taken away by Gregory. Drops it off. Harcum, floater, you bet. App State by 1.
First lead since early in the first half, isn't it, Kendall?
It is loud and Boone. Wright looking for space. Gordon, corner 3, off the mark. Gregory, he'll drop it off. Absent, rejected. And a foul on Medley Bacon.
Once again, Medley Bacon bringing that arm down. Should have just pinned it on the glass.
That's going to take us to our final media. 3:38. Free throw line for Dustin Kearns and his crew. Fouled from behind by Brennan Medley Bacon right before the timeout. Crazy turn of events in the last couple of minutes.
Dustin Kearns got some veteran guys out there. You got to put the guys out there right now that you can trust are going to be in the right place defensively and box out and keep Central from getting an easy stick back.
Crunch time for both teams. App State's on a 6-0 run. The drop off. Medley Bacon bucket. Just muscles it right up and in. Absorbing the contact. And it's been back and forth all night long. Gregory pulls it. Cash money.
Talking about guys you want the ball in their hands that you can trust. Coach Kearns doesn't trust anybody more than he trusts Donovan Gregory.
Boom. Slicing was hacked on the arm. Foul going to go against Tyree Boykin.
Boy, I don't know about that, Kendall. He was squared up playing with his feet. Hands were back. Boy, I'd like to see a replay on that. I don't know about that call. Mountaineers have only got 14 fouls, though, so they can afford to be aggressive on the defensive end.
2:35 left to play. NC Central's led almost the entire second half. Justin Wright to trigger it in.
Like I said, Mountaineers only got 14 fouls. If I'm Dustin Kearns, you know, anybody gets an advantage on you dribbling the basketball, you got to foul at this point, don't you, Kendall? They're still 3 fouls away from being in the bonus.
It'll be interesting to see. Maltsby catches the inbound. NC Central will reset. Boom.
Oh, wow, that's a push.
Rises. Couldn't get the teardrop to go. Gregory had it knocked out of bounds. It's going to go with the Mountaineers.
Went off Marquis. Maltsby's foot. Donovan Gregory trying to get up the floor quick. Maltsby stepped in. Pretty good break there for the Eagles. Mountaineers had numbers going the other way.
Here comes the pressure from NC Central.
And this is going to be a lot better pressure than they saw Monday night against Warren Wilson. Got to be careful with the basketball.
Tyree Boykin, a grad transfer who scored over 1,600 points at Union, Division II school in the Gulf South Conference. Gives Wade Gregory. Wild shot off glass.
Yeah, not the shot they wanted there.
Wright thought about it. NC Central with their back against the wall. And a raucous student section. Wright thought he got fouled, no whistle.
There's a walk.
And then a reach in. That'll be team foul number 5 on the Mountaineers. And it's on C.J. Huntley.
Boy, did Justin Abson come out of nowhere and block that shot well above the square. This kid's going to be something. You've got to be careful switching here if you're the Mountaineers. Their screens are usually big on little, little on big. Plus, they just brought in Devin Butts, who's been filling it up from 3 all night. Got to know where he's at.
Right, can't get any space. 1:37 left. Wright with 5 on the shot clock. There's Butts to tie it. Misses it long.
Probably been sitting over there too long. He's cooled off.
What a good look for Devin Butts. He hit 3 threes in the first half. And Butts reaches in and commits the foul.
Tyree Boykin 4 for 6 from the line Monday night. Obviously not nearly as much pressure on him Monday as there is right now. These are big free throws, Kendall.
Tyree Boykin, 11 points tonight. We mentioned it, over 1,600 career points as he makes the first of a 1-and-1.
You got to figure that this kid is used to being at the line in pressure situations, playing in Union, being their leading scorer for the last 3 years. He's had the ball in his hands in these pressure situations.
Mentioned he was the Conference Player of the Year in the Gulf South Conference quality Division II league before transferring.
What a pickup
App
by
State
Dustin Kearns.
with their 5-point lead, the largest of the second half. The lob. Medley Bacon throws it down, and Lavelle Moten wants a quick timeout.
Nice pick and roll situation. Mountaineers switched and had the 6'3" Harcum on the 7-foot Medley Bacon. Complete mismatch.
We'll keep it right here inside of the Holmes Convocation Center. All right, John. App State leading by 3 with 1:04 left. We talked about how good NC Central, their pressure has been all night long on the Mountaineers. But again, time just ticking down.
Well, they're going to come with the best pressure package that they have right now out of this timeout. That's why they called the timeout. And if the Mountaineers break the pressure and don't have anything going to the rim, you got to figure they're going to pull it out, burn some clock, and that's going to force Central to foul. So if you're Dustin Kearns, you got to put the guys out there that you trust, number one, and you got to put the guys out there that can make their free throws.
Tyree Boykin to trigger it in for the Mountaineers. Boykin, Harcum, Huntley, Gregory, and Absent on the floor for App State.
You can't panic if you're the Mountaineers. A floating trap.
Here comes a trap. Boykin gets it across midcourt. Under a minute to go. 52 seconds remaining.
Good job by Boykin keeping the ball. They don't want to foul him. He just made his last 2.
Huntley.
Be patient. Don't be in a hurry.
Shot clock's at 5. Gregory. Harcum looking for a dagger. Missed everything. It's a shot clock violation. And NC Central with 33.8 ticks left, trailing by 3 with the basketball.
And if you're the Mountaineers, you cannot give up a 3 in this situation. You've got a 3-point lead. Find your shooters, know where they're at, and by all means, don't foul anybody that's got a clear path to the basket that you don't think you can foul before they can get their shot off.
Couple of substitutions. Fred Cleveland and Devin Butts check in for NC Central. Xavion Brown going to check in for Justin Ebsen and Appalachian State.
You got to know where Devin Butts is at, and you have got to know where Justin Wright is. I'm assuming Justin Wright's going to have the ball in his hands, which he has right now. And he will just run up and shoot a 3.
Off his foot, saved, right into the hands, and here's a big 3, short. Harcum dives on the floor. Whistles and a foul on Justin Wright. And some frustration on the faces of the Eagles right now.
Justin Wright's upset. I don't think he liked the 3-point shot that Chris Monroe shot. It was a wide open shot. I don't have a problem with the shot. The problem was the scramble afterwards. I think Justin Wright might have caught a little elbow from somebody that made him upset. This is still a lot of time to play here. Mountaineers make these free throws. You still got a chance to rush it down if you're Central, get a quick shot. And they still have a timeout to burn.
Medley Bacon checks back in for Cleveland with 17.5 seconds left. And 17.5 ticks left. Gregory at the free throw line. And misses the 1-and-1. And a quick timeout, Lavelle Moten. Wow, with 16 ticks left. What do you draw up here, John?
Well, they got to get it up the floor quick. To me, you put the ball in Justin Wright's hands, let him go to the basket. He's a good free throw shooter. He can shoot the 3, he can shoot the mid-range. 16 seconds is a lot of time. So then you got to turn around and foul the Mountaineers as soon as they get the ball.
As a coach here, do you feel that you have to have a 3 on this possession, or would you take a quick 2?
No, I think you go straight to the basket. If the 3 presents itself, with somebody, Devin Butts, wide open on a wing, then you obviously take it. But if I'm North Carolina Central, I get it to Justin Wright and just tell him to go to the basket.
16.1 ticks left. Appalachian State will hit the road at Louisville on the 15th to take on the Cardinals. We talked about it for NC Central. They are at Liberty. They've got a few days off before they travel to Lynchburg, Virginia to take on a quality Liberty Flames team. Tough start for NC Central when you talk about their non-conference schedule. At Virginia, at Appalachian State, at Liberty. But this will certainly prepare the Eagles for MEAC play in Appalachian State. Dustin Kearns trying to gear up for Sun Belt play, which will be upon us before you know it.
Something we got to watch out for here too, Kendall. Mountaineers are still a foul out of the bonus situation. They've got one to give. So let somebody get a head of steam up, burn off a couple seconds, and then foul them in the open court.
Boone going to bring the basketball up the floor. 9 seconds. Wright with 3. He's going to have to hoist. Wright steps back, gets it to go. Justin Wright, ice in his veins.
What a shot. I think he got away with a shove right in front of the official, but you can't make that call.
My goodness.
I still wonder why the Mountaineers didn't foul when he was doing all the dribbling up front, because you still had a foul to give. Pretty good defense by, Terrence Harcum.
And in case you were wondering why he was a first-team All-MEAC selection from a year ago, you just got your answer.
Well, we got some free basketball, 5 extra minutes.
64-64. To overtime we go. My goodness, a stunner here at Boone. NC Central.
Well, Kendall, besides making that last second shot, I still think Dustin Kearns and the Mountaineers have got the momentum. They've played better the last 2 or 3 minutes than Central has. So, I think it's going to come down to this first minute and a half to see who can kind of, can the Mountaineers build on that, or is Central going to, just take over and control this game based on the momentum of that last second shot?
College basketball is back, folks. How about overtime, the first week of the season here between two in-state foes, Appalachian State and NC Central.
So both coaches will get an extra timeout in the overtime. And looks like the Mountaineers are bringing back the young fella, Justin Absent, along with C.J. Huntley, Tyree Boykin, Donovan Gregory, and Terrence Harcum.
New life for the Eagles. Justin Absent and Brennan Medley-Bacon will jump it up. 5 extra minutes here in Boone. And
Nope.
the officials say, hey, we got to switch sides here in the circle. Medley-Bacon, a 7-footer, who was hampered with 2 fouls, wins the tip. And NC Central controls first here in OT. Eric Boone surveys. Offensive foul. And they immediately give it right back to the Mountaineers.
And that foul was created by Tyree Boykin being aggressive and physical, trying to get through that screen.
Eric Boone, Chris Monroe, Brendan Medley-Bacon, Devin Butts, and Justin Wright, the 5 on the floor here in OT for NC Central.
Nobody out there, Kendall, for either team with more than 3 fouls.
Donovan Gregory, Terrence Harcum, C.J. Huntley, Tyree Boykin, and Justin Absent, the 5 on the floor for Appalachian State. This one, take it away, and then saved off Boykin. What a heady play. That time by Eric Boone.
Well, you see why he was 4th in the nation in steals last year, Kendall. Difficult to deflect the ball anywhere on the court, let alone on an inbounds pass, and then recovering it yourself.
Another one of those 4 guys for NC Central that was a preseason All-MEAC selection. Remember, the Eagles picked to finish second in the MEAC preseason poll this year. Good test for Dustin Kearns. Here, just the second game of the season for these two teams. Wright, who just hit the big-time three right before regulation ended, couldn't get it to go on the step-back J.
Boy, he came down hard.
He came down hard and slow to get up. Boykin swirls in a three.
I think the Mountaineers might have found their guy, Tyree Boykin. I think that kid was made for moments like this.
Boone slicing and dicing, gets it to go off glass.
Boy, he gets downhill in a hurry, doesn't he?
Tyree Boykins, we mentioned, grad transfer from Division II Union. Harkins hit some big-time shots, gives away. Huntley sets his feet and
Big
buries
shot.
it.
What a feed from Tyree Boykin. Now you got to get a stop. Huge stop right here for the Mountaineers.
Wright looking for space, lost the ball, out of bounds, App State basketball.
And I'm going to tell you what, C.J. Huntley at 6'11", stepping across into his path had a lot to do with Justin Wright losing that basketball.
Just over 3 to go in overtime. Boykin pulls up, elbow J, smooth as silk. Tyree Boykin, who scored over 1,600 points at Union. The transfer is coming up big in OT. 72-66. We'll be right back on ESPN Plus. .66 over NC Central and OT. Kendall Lewis, John Reister, get your popcorn ready. 2:54 remaining. Tyree Boykin with a big-time bucket right before the timeout to extend the Mountaineers' lead out to 6.
Kendall, Tyree Boykin has either scored or assisted on every Mountaineers point in overtime thus far.
Justin Wright hit the game-tying three as the clock expired in regulation for NC Central. He'll square his feet here, knocks it down again.
Can't lose that guy. Cannot lose him in this situation.
You talk about a timely three coming out of the timeout for NC Central, and it's none other than Justin Wright.
Boy, that was a big shot for Central. They needed that.
Boykin hesitates. Hands off to Harcum.
They got the matchup.
Harcum nowhere to go. Huntley, that's his spot.
That's a dagger.
Knocks it down again.
That is a dagger right there, Kendall. Dustin Kearns wanted a timeout. Central got the ball in too quick.
Wright absorbs contact. Rejected. Justin Abson.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Kearns said the kid had an aptitude for blocking shots, and we're seeing it tonight, aren't we? That's his third or fourth one tonight.
How about the freshman, Justin Abson? How good has he been? 2 games into his college career. John mentioned it earlier. This kid's going to be special. And they'll pause to wipe up the floor. Let's take a second look. This coming from over the top, John.
Well, the weak side help, which pack line, you're always in help if you're not pressuring the ball. And for a freshman to pick up on those concepts as quickly as he has shows he's a smart kid, pays attention in practice, and then you just got to have the natural ability and timing, which he obviously has.
Little perspiration timeout along the baseline. Butts, shot fake, he'll pull it. Had the shot altered.
I think Appleton got a piece of that, too.
Loose ball on the baseline. They say Gregory's out of bounds.
Yeah, you got a whole pile of guys out of bounds. I think Donovan was the only one that was touching the basketball, though. Good call by the official.
It would be NC Central basketball. And we've got a Mountaineer shaking up. He was on the bottom of that scrum.
I think it's Terrence Harcum.
And it's Terrence Harcum. Trainers are out. Our official's going to head over to the scores table. In physical game here tonight. Let's see if we can get a second look.
Oh, yeah, he hit his knee. He hit his face on Donovan Gregory's knee. Did you see that? You can see that again. It's obvious right when they start to go down. His face hits Donovan Gregory's knee, and it looks like might have gashed open his cheek a little bit. Boy, that's tough for the Mountaineers right now. He's going to have to come out and sit.
Well, you hope that Terrence Harcum is okay. 1:44 left to go in overtime.
Yeah, I'm sure Terrence is probably more upset having to come out of the game than he is hurt. He's a tough kid, and he's battled all summer to get that playing time, to get out on that floor.
He started the first two games for Appalachian State, hit some big-time shots in the second half. Xavion Brown will come in for Dustin Kearns in the Mountaineers. It's NC Central basketball with 1:44 left to go.
And once again, you've got to know where your shooters are at. You cannot give up a big three in this situation. Switch everything. If they get it inside on a mismatch and get a two, that's okay.
They're going to come out and try to clean up the floor. Again, there may be a little blood on the floor. That's what they're going to clean up.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, Kim. He was bleeding pretty good while he was laying there.
Well, both teams have headed back over to their respective huddles one time. Now they're both getting set to come back out. Dustin Kearns' group already back out on the floor. Just an incredible job Dustin Kearns has done with this program in his first few seasons as the head coach. We mentioned a Sun Belt Tournament championship a couple of years ago.
Well, I think what's more impressive to me than anything else is how he's restocked the coverage so quick. Attacking the portal, bringing in two quality freshmen.
Struggling to get it in is Boone. Throws it deep and right. Wow. Nearly a turnover for the Eagles.
He's going to have a tough time getting shot up over Xavion Brown.
Right, backing his way in, drops it off. Medley Bacon foul, trying to throw it down.
But that's a good foul. That's a good foul. You'd rather the big fella shoot two free throws than get a slam in that situation. Once again, the freshman, Justin Abson, making a heady play, trying to block that shot from behind, keeping him from dunking the basketball.
Brendan Medley Bacon is 2 for 2 with the charity stripe in this game tonight. And facing a raucous student section. Gets it to go on the first.
It's a good-looking release on that free throw. Sure, the Mountaineers got to be ready for some pressure. Mountaineers still have 3 timeouts, so if you get in any kind of trouble, make sure you signal that timeout.
Makes them both. 4-point game with 1:32 left to play.
2-2-1 press by the Eagles.
Pressure, Boykin.
Last time they did this, they trapped as soon as the ball was put on the floor.
Got to get it across midcourt. Boykin does and finds Absent. Now the Mountaineers with 17 on the shot clock. We'll work a little time off.
Make sure you keep the ball in the hands of the guys that can make the free throws.
Loose ball,
That's
tied
gotta be a
up.
foul.
It's a jump ball. Possession error, going to keep it on this end.
Well, I don't see how that wasn't a foul. He was reaching over the top of him. Mountaineers got lucky in that situation. Only 2 seconds on the shot clock. Good timeout by Dustin Kearns to draw something up.
Catch and shoot situation here. Who do you go to, John?
Well, you still got a chance to catch, maybe take a dribble, maybe two. I'm looking to get the ball in either C.J. Huntley's hands or Tyree Boykin.
The official says
and you got a situation, Kendall, where you could let one of those two guys bring the ball in and then just throw it in, step in, and give it right back to him for a quick shot. But I would definitely look for either C.J. Huntley or Tyree Boykin to take this shot. Boykin bringing the ball in. Wouldn't be surprised to see him throw it into Justin Absent, step in, get it right back, and let it go.
Two seconds on the shot clock. Inbound, back to Boykin as the shot clock expires. And board pulled in by Maltsby at NC Central. Wow, 53 seconds left. Justin Wright, Mr. Clutch with the basketball.
Good block.
Blocked away, Absent, the freshman again, and a foul.
Boy, the big fella's growing up in a hurry, isn't he, Kendall?
Incredible shot blocker. You've seen it all night long.
Stepping to the line for App State, number 15, C.J. Huntley. 2 shots.
How about Justin Absent tonight, folks? With 5 blocks for the game. And C.J. Huntley at the free throw line.
Is that what he's guys trying to find it, Ken? I couldn't find it anywhere. Is he up to 5 now?
Huntley gets the roll on the first. 5 blocks tonight for Justin Absent, and a few of those have been down the stretch of the second half and here in overtime. And Huntley goes 1 of 2. Door is still open for NC Central, but time ticking away. 37 seconds in overtime left.
Xavier Brown's got to deny
Boone,
Justin
floater.
Wright the ball.
Had the shot altered. Absent able to alter the shot for App State again. And NC Central forced the foul at the 26.3 second mark.
If you're the Mountaineers here, you make your free throws, you pretty much have this game. So take your time, line them up, play smart on the defensive end.
App State, as we mentioned, they were so good at the free throw line Monday night. 39 makes from the charity stripe, 39 of 43 at the line in Monday night's game. Tonight they're 12 of 19, make it 13 of 20 as Boykin swishes the first through. Makes them both. 78-71. Timeout at 26.3 seconds left. NC Central. No, the 3 ball's not really been kind to the Eagles here in overtime. John, of course, kind of at this point, you got to expect 3.
Yeah, you have to. And if I'm Dustin Kearns, I'm coming out with a floating 2-1-2 or 2-2-1 three-quarter court press where they can't just put their heads down and dribble through. Make them throw a couple passes and then match up on the back end. Don't give up a 3. But yeah, I think you're kind of desperation time for North Carolina Central, and it looks like they've put a bunch of shooters out there to try to get some shots on that three-point line. Everybody out there they've got is capable of making a three.
Chris Monroe will trigger it in. App State is going to bring a little pressure. Eric Boone with the basketball. Don't have much time to waste. It's at 18 seconds. Eagles trailing by 7. Kick out. Maltzby knocks it down from the corner. 13.1 seconds left. NC Central got a foul. And fast. Didn't get it. And there it is. Finally on the second pass to Xavion Brown.
Yeah, if I was Tyree Boykin, I probably would have held on to that ball a little bit longer in that trap, knowing that you got the clock on your side. He'll learn from that. But this is good experience for Xavion Brown, too. He's going to be in of a lot of games this year, and he needs to get comfortable at the line in this situation.
10.2 ticks left. Xavion Brown is 2 of 5 at the line tonight. Air ball's the first.
Yeah, in a little bit of a hurry there. He's needs to just take his time.
And banks the second one in.
They still count. I'm sure the guys are going to talk to him a little bit about that in the locker room after the game.
So 79-74, 10.2 seconds left. We saw a big-time three from Maltzby just a moment ago for NC Central. Again, not much here with 10.2 ticks left. Eagles have gotten a little bit of help from the charity stripe. App State missing a couple of free throws down the stretch of this game, but you got to think that NC Central certainly going to be going to Justin Wright here down the stretch.
Yeah, and you really can't take your time bringing it up like they did the last time. They burned about 10 seconds, 11 seconds off the clock that last possession. Got a good shot. They've got to get something that develops a little bit quicker because, the clock's their enemy now. You're almost going to look for a long pass and then pass it, catch it, pitch it, and get a quick shot. It's really the only chance you got. They're out of timeout, so they can't stop the clock unless they
I was going to say, John, to salvage time, 10.2 seconds, where do you look to inbound this if you're NC Central? Do you try to streak somebody up the sideline and maybe catch it right at midcourt if you possibly can, or go?
You want to try to get it at least midcourt. Looks like they're trying to set up a touchdown pass situation. I'm surprised the Mountaineers don't have somebody back playing free safety.
Boone catches it, 8 seconds. Trying to toss it back. He lost control. 3 seconds, not going to be enough time. Off the mark, tapped around, and Appalachian State survives. 2-0 go the Mountaineers.
What an incredible fight in the second half. The Mountaineers fought to, number one, get back in this game.